Thank you for all the couple dozen people who are following me on this channel. Hopefully, there'll be more. But today, for anybody who's listening, I've got a crazy story for you. And I wonder if it's destiny. Maybe I'll put a title as such, something similar. Is this destiny? So, for those who don't know me here, I am Dr. Talib Al-Khair. I have a PhD in political science from the University of Bath. And I specialize in studying extremist rhetoric, more specifically Islamist extremist rhetoric. So when I started my PhD in 2018, the idea on the start was to do my PhD on minority protection from extremist rhetoric. So I'm from Syria, and one of the biggest problems that Syria is facing, was facing and is still facing, is the prevalent extremist rhetoric within so many factions of the people there. And unfortunately, now, after the Syrian people got rid of one dictator, who is Bashar al-Assad, now they're facing a different problem, which is the fact that those extremists are now in charge of the country. Many of them are completely out of control. And you can see in the news, if you look up something like Alawite massacres Syria, you'll see that there are really horrible massacres and killings that are still happening every single day against the Alawite minority in Syria, which happens to be my people. So I belong to the Alawite community in Syria, and now that community is facing an existential threat by those extremists. But I say, is this destiny? Because what happened is that I started this PhD on studying extremist rhetoric, and it evolved into the use of machine learning in studying this rhetoric, this speech, the extremist speech. And we did an analysis on ISIS newsletter, and then we studied how we can use machine learning analysis on this speech, extremist speech, in order to somewhat forecast or predict attacks that can be done by those extremists against certain groups. And following the finishing of my PhD in 2022, shortly after, about a year after, I decided to start an AI company that focuses on rhetoric speech analysis in risk forecasting. So the idea of my company, BrainBridge Solutions, was to kind of perfect this methodology that we developed during my PhD, and kind of make a product out of it, like be able to actually make real life difference using this methodology and this technology. Because now we have big data, and we have powerful AI models, and combining these two together in such a way that we can study and analyze extremist rhetoric on social media, it can help us understand how these people think and the way they portray certain groups in a certain country, and whether they are planning to escalate violence against them and all that jazz. So the company has been established for a bit more than a year now, almost a year and a half. And I have reached a point where I realized that it might be better if I can use the same technology for more business purposes. Since getting funding for projects like these, like risk forecasting, like humanitarian projects and stuff like that, unfortunately, there's not a lot of money and there's not a lot of interest. And what makes it even worse is that a lot of these big organizations that work within a context like that, they're highly bureaucratic, and they do work in a certain way, and it's very cliquey as well. So they only give work for people they know or they trust or they have dealt with before. The way these organizations work, I honestly still don't understand. After all these months trying to figure out a way to work with them, from the UN to like the UN counterterrorism branch, to small NGOs, international NGOs. Um, I tried. I tried to contact them and try to establish any kind of projects, and it wasn't very successful. So I kind of, pitched towards doing that, gearing my company towards business purposes, something like market intelligence, for example. So the same technology can be used for market intelligence. So if you have a big company and you would like to know what a certain audience is thinking in terms of a market, in terms of a service, in terms of a product that you personally are providing them, and you want to know what they think about it, uh, that kind of information can be done using our technology, and we can get some really fascinating insights. And we have produced already a number of case studies. We did one on Trump tariffs, we did one on BYD electric cars in the UK, stuff like that. And now there's one on Turkcell in Cyprus. So we kind of analyzed what their customers would like to have from their services, basically. All that using open source intelligence, stuff that is on the internet, basically what people say on the internet. So long story short, after all this time of establishing the company and trying to pitch different angles, now with the massacres that are happening in Syria against Alawites, against my people, I find it like kind of fascinating that after all this time, after the PhD, after all this work, after establishing the company, how did it happen that it seems to be that the first project that I will ever do with this company, with my startup, happened to be for my people? It does feel like destiny. It does feel like everything I have done in the last so many years, since 2018, you can say, everything I have done since I started the PhD and then the company has led me all the way here to be able to help my country, help my people in the country, try to save lives, try to advocate for those innocent civilians who are being killed every day. And it just happens that it seems that I am the best person for this project, for this cause. So I found myself in this position where I have the technology, I have the knowledge to be actually able to make a difference in my country and be able to help my people, help those innocent people, using my knowledge and my existing company that is perfectly positioned to do something like that. So it is really strange and fascinating. So I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days, and basically what we have decided is that we will start a crowdfunding campaign. So right now we are making a website for this campaign, and the idea is that we will take this campaign, we will make one for English, one in English, one in Arabic. We will start this campaign, we will explain what we're trying to do, and then we will send it to friends and their friends, and try to spread it online, and see if we can get any help. And if we can manage to get this funding, I truly believe that it will make a difference, because with this funding, we'll be able to analyze huge amounts of social media, and be able to understand what are people in Syria thinking, and we can put that into categories. So we can basically split this data into what are those extremists are saying about the minorities, let's say about Alawites, my people. What are Alawites saying about what's happening? What are their main concerns? And we can even take that further. So we can take those extremist groups that exist in Syria right now, and we can split the data that is coming from their audience. So we can split it per group. So we can see what does each group say, and what do the people who follow them and the people who comment on their posts and stuff like that, what do they say? So we can understand what these groups think and what their audience thinks as well. And by doing that on such a massive scale, we are talking about tens or hundreds of thousands of posts and comments every week that we are planning to do. And then we produce a report telling the world how these people are thinking and how this kind of knowledge can help us understand what's happening in the country, and maybe policymakers can make decisions based on this knowledge that we are providing. Maybe also we can use that funding to spread the word and tell the world about what's happening in the country right now, and use the research that we're doing, the results that we're getting, to show people that this is a serious matter. It's not just a matter of individual actions. We can see to what extent these massacres, these killings that are happening in Syria right now, to what extent is this organized? To what extent is this on a mass scale? The people, even the people who are not taking part of it, the people who kind of sympathize with them, what are they saying? And how is the way they're thinking about this, how is it changing with time? Is it getting more extreme? Is it getting less extreme? So it's all these kind of informations that we can gather and we can report and spread to the world on a regular basis. I think this will make a huge difference. The technology that I'm using is called machine learning topic modeling and sentiment analysis. It is a really powerful technology where you can understand what people are saying in terms of what are the topics that they're interested in, but also what are the biggest topics. So with this technology, we can basically rank these topics from the most prominent to the least prominent, basically the biggest to the smallest. And with every topic, we might be able to get sentiment analysis. We may be able to understand what these people are saying in terms of sentiment with it as well. So this is, in short, what I'm saying is that I have this feeling that this is some kind of destiny or fate leading me all the way here. I don't know exactly what to think of it, because there's this part of me that is a little bit anxious that this campaign might not work. Maybe we'll get a little bit of money, but not enough. So there's a lot of anxiety about this, but I'm working on it and I'm committed to it anyway. I will try to make the website as good as possible using the means that we have. We don't have funding, so we're basically just volunteering to do that. And I'm hoping we'll be able to get funding so I can reliably gather the team and be able to pay for their time and pay for their expenses. The technology itself is not exactly cheap. We have to pay for data scraping, for data storage, for cloud computing and all that. So this is not the kind of project that we can do without funding, unfortunately. So I'm hoping things will work out. If you want to know more about this technology and what kind of applications can be done, you can look me up on LinkedIn, or you can go to the website, brainbridgesolutions.com. I'll put the website down. Once the campaign is ready, I will also advertise it here, and I'll tell you more about the campaign. I'll take you through the website, and hopefully you can spread the word out and help us gather funding for this. So this is basically what I've been working on lately. This is just a quick update. I don't want to make this too long, but in any case, let me know what you think about this. If you have any opinions or you think you can help us in any way, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.